Well, it looks like it is actually finally happening. The Oblivion Remake is coming, and it could be coming very soon, with a reveal as early as potentially 1 week away on March 20th. And not only that, the game could actually be releasing in June or even before the original leaked June release date. Now, is this actually true? Who are these leaks coming from? Well, these leaks are coming from a very reliable insider named NateTheHate, who some people might know him as Nate Drake as well, and he has correctly leaked a ton of things in the past. A couple examples here are South by Midnight being revealed at the Developer Direct. On top of that, Doom the Dark Ages, as well as the Doom the Dark Ages PS5 release. And most recently, he even accurately predicted and leaked the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement date. Other insiders and publications have also corroborated his information. A lot of the gaming journalists and sites that you see posting about this Oblivion Remake information have either corroborated this or are using his information. So it is, in my opinion, very reliable, and I think we're definitely going to see this reveal within the next week or sometime in April, with the release in June or sometime before June. And if you haven't been paying attention to this story specifically, this is not something that just popped up out of the blue. This has been rumored for years now, with most recently it coming to a peak in January of 2025. And within this month, we got a lot of information. The biggest information we got that was reported from MP First, that a former employee at a studio called Virtuos Studios, who does a ton of different remakes, specifically a lot of them within Unreal Engine, was making an Oblivion remake, obviously with Bethesda. But not only was the Oblivion remake going to be remade from the ground up in Unreal Engine 5, there was actual gameplay details here too that were shared. Number one, there were tweaks to stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, and hit reaction, with hit reaction being kind of the main thing here. If you guys remember, Oblivion did not really even have hit reaction. Not a ton of games back then actually did, but in the modern day, that is something that needs to be in a game, specifically in RPGs as well, to make that game feel good. On top of that, there was going to be changes to the HUD to appeal to a younger audience. Not entirely sure still what that means. The other stuff was also relatively vague in regards to archery, blocking, sneaking, and things like that. So we don't know the specific details on what those changes will be until this game is potentially revealed, but all of this is really big news. And it all started back in January in 2025 when actual details like this started coming out. And after that, the next rumor was that it was going to be revealed at the Developer Direct for Xbox earlier this year. That obviously did not happen. And since then, we haven't really heard anything until today, when NateTheHate revealed the details about the release date and the reveal date potentially happening within the next few weeks and before June for the game to actually release, or at some point in June. And honestly, all of this information just makes sense. Oblivion's anniversary is going to be on March 20th, so it would make a lot of sense for them to reveal the game on that date. Todd Howard has consistently said in interviews he likes to release games as soon as possible after that game is revealed. He even said in his own words he would like to do it a week later. I don't think that's going to happen, but it definitely could. Anything a week later all the way till June, a release date between that time makes a lot of sense. On top of that, Starfield is probably either going to be revealed, or at least the DLC, the second DLC for Starfield is probably going to be revealed April 2nd or at some point in June. And then that obviously opens up Elder Scrolls 6, which has now gotten even more rumors about it being released in 2026, with consoles coming out in 2027, and Elder Scrolls 6 being rumored to be on the next generation Xbox console. All of this information also lines up relatively directly with the Bethesda roadmap that we saw previously. So when there's an insider who is very reliable, who has leaked consistently correct information recently and previously, it's being corroborated by VGC, other insiders and journalists out there on the internet. On top of this, the whole situation just makes sense and it lines up with the Bethesda roadmap that we have seen. I think I'm pretty confidently going to say this is real. Now, there is some other information circling out there that I don't believe came from NateTheHate. So Take this for what you will. I don't know if it's truthful or not. I would lean on to this not necessarily being accurate and potentially just people trying to capitalize on the conversations around the Oblivion remake being leaked in general. But it definitely brings up some very good points and some things that I definitely want to talk about in the event that it ends up being true. Now, the first thing here is that it's going to be an Oblivion Anniversary remake. And it's going to be released in June, with it being revealed on April 20th. Now, is this Anniversary Remake the generic remake, or is this a specific edition aside from the generic remake? I'm not entirely sure. But the reason I bring that up is because this leak says it's going to be $80 and include all of the DLCs, potentially some cut content as well, and on top of that, obviously all of the gameplay and graphical upgrades. They also say here that there's a deluxe edition that is going to include things like an art book, soundtrack, and 2 sets inspired by Morrowind and Skyrim. But one thing I want to say just straight up, Bethesda, if you're thinking about releasing this for $80, that is like beyond crazy. That is way high for a remake of a game. At the maximum, this game should be $50, and that's the absolute maximum. I would really like and hope that it's even less than that, probably around the $40 range, especially with Skyblivion, which I'll get to, releasing this year, which will be free for a lot of people that own the complete editions of Skyrim and Oblivion. Now, if this Anniversary Edition is the deluxe edition and they're releasing it for $80, it's going to include all of that, then I guess that makes a little bit of sense, but I still think $80 is a bit too much, but we've seen games do that before. But as the base game, $80 being more than pretty much any other base game out there ever that just got raised to $70, you would be out of your mind for releasing it at $80. That's why I'm kind of thinking this is not true. And again, that's if this Oblivion Anniversary Remake is the actual base remake and not a obviously higher priced edition where you're going to be getting this extra stuff. Now, the next very big thing is that this will not have mod support, and that is coming after Bethesda is obviously pushing all of these paid mods right now, and this is due to it being created and remade within the Unreal Engine 5. Now, I have talked about at length the good and bad both of the Unreal Engine 5 and the Creation Engine 2, specifically even for Bethesda, and this was something that I mentioned that we haven't really seen an Unreal Engine 5 game be moddable at all, and if it is, very hard in regards to how easy it is on the Creation Kit. Look at me, I am stupid. I used to make mods when I was 12 for Skyrim. That is how easy it is on the Creation Kit once you start learning it, and that is one of the biggest reasons why people continue to play games like Skyrim, for example. Even to this day, there are YouTube channels that have made livings off of posting about mods that people have created for Skyrim. On top of that, like I just mentioned, they are pushing paid mods more than ever now. So if there is no mod support, I don't necessarily think this is a good thing, but it is something that I have talked about previously as one of the biggest downfalls of Unreal Engine 5 and something that we probably were going to not have with the Oblivion remake being created by Virtuos and being remade in UE5. But we're not only getting one Oblivion remake this year, we're getting 2. Skyblivion is still set to release this year with a lot of roadmaps showing that it is very close to being completed. This is going to also have gameplay upgrades. This is also going to include cut content. This is also going to be completely remade in Skyrim in the Creation Engine as well with mod support. So if you're looking for something like mod support in Oblivion, you already have Skyrim Complete and the Oblivion Complete editions or the special editions or whatever they're called, and you can get that for free. That might be a better option for you anyways. There are so many incredible things that the Skyblivion team has been working on and has done here, so definitely go check out Skyblivion. It's not $80. It's free if you own the editions that you need to own for Oblivion and Skyrim, and less than $80 even if you buy them outright. And on top of that is going to have that mod support for the future. So in my opinion, Skyblivion still might be the better option for a majority of players, specifically on PC, that want to just play Oblivion again in the best way possible. But regardless, if you are a fan of Bethesda, if you are a fan of The Elder Scrolls, and specifically a fan of Oblivion, we are eating so good this year with 2 different remakes coming out relatively soon as well. And you can really just choose which one you think suits you best. I would like to know down below in the comments, what you think about this information. Do you think NateTheHate is lying here, or are you kind of on my side and a lot of people's side where you pretty much think this is almost confirmed and very true, considering he's been very truthful in the past and been very accurate on his leaks? The leaks that came afterwards, like the no mod support, the $80, what do you think about that? Do you think that's true? Do you think that's a load of BS? Do you think that that edition is just an upgraded edition of the original Oblivion Remake? I would definitely like to hear what you guys think down below. And are you excited for this? Or are you more excited for Skyblivion? Because again, they've been doing a great job with that, and I am extremely excited for both and definitely going to play that one as well. And lastly, what do you think about this game not potentially having mod support? That's a very big one for a lot of players. So thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for over 1,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 2,000. So if you are new to the channel, you like gaming news and gaming reviews, specifically for RPGs, other games I'm interested in, and especially Oblivion, because I'm going to be covering this, please like, subscribe if you liked what you see here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!